Hello everybody, back in Sosnovka doing some farming. Farming Simulator Gold 2015, and just about done harvesting the wheat this round. And I've got plans for this episode. I would really like to get field 15 purchased and get field 14 more square, so that hired workers have an easier time of it. And I think I can get those things done today. And, obviously also planting everything and finishing this harvest. So that's the plan. See what we can get done. Obviously I kind of need to start planting, but I wanted to finish harvesting first so I could work on reshaping things before I planted everything. And so I've got a couple things running. The west lawn needed mowing again, so I've got one tractor on course play overdoing that. This tractor is obviously handling unloading the combine, and the other one, the new Deutzfahr, is handling picking up straw. So good division of labor. Since the combine is not going to get filled up before it finishes the field, I'm just going to leave the tipper parked. This guy's moving along happily. Let's go pick up some more straw. So my intent here, the weather forecast calls for a cloudy day today inside the game. If we take a look, yeah, cloudy, 19 degrees Celsius is the high. Hoping it might get a little sunnier later. It'd make it a little easier to deal with. So I'm probably going to speed up time somewhat after I finish harvesting and have the workers not being paid anymore, just to see if that'll happen. But for right now, we're just harvesting. Pick up that one little bit. There we go. And it looks like that combine is done. So I'll go get him done and back to the farm in a minute. But first, let's do this part. And just like last time, I don't think we're gonna get all the straw into one more load. I think it's going to be 2 more loads, or a load and some. But that's okay. %, running about 25% per row. So if that pattern holds, we should finish this row and get just a touch on the next one. Yeah, maybe it was more like 20%. Yeah, that's close. 24% on that row. And there we are. Okay, let's go get an extra, that's what, about $700 from selling straw, usually. And we'll also while that's happening, I go check on everybody else. Great demand at the mill for corn. I'm pretty sure I don't have any corn. No corn. Do have 60,000 wheat, which is useful for complete loads, plus whatever's in the combine. Mowing grass mission completed. Got another 7,000. That's helpful. I'll let that course play worker continue for a bit till he says he's done. And then at some point I will go back and pick that grass up. Probably while I have the tractor doing replanting operations. I'll just go cross country. Alright, the worker that was mowing has finished. So I can go pick him up in a minute. This guy, I'm just going to go ahead and unload him into the tipper. I'm actually kind of curious to see if I can unload directly into the silo. Let's go try it. Just out of pure curiosity. So what I'll need to do is kind of move over here. Yep, not like that. These trees are going to make it a little challenging. I don't know that I can get... Yeah, not quite. Yeah, I can't quite get in there. Oh well. It was interesting to make the attempt. But now, let's get this guy back over where he needs to be. And just unload into this trailer. And there we are. So this guy's done. We'll stop him. And this guy can go pick up the very last remnants of that straw. Before coming back and helping with the field reshaping operations. I think I got to, what, 25% last time? On the last load? Something like that. I'll get a little more than that this time. Maybe 30? Yeah, more than that. 36% complete full. I don't think I have any hired workers out, so I still need to find out if having hired workers, if you basically pay them by real time or game time. But for right now, I'm going to punch up the clock and see if we can get this fog to burn off, because I kind of really prefer playing in the full daylight rather than this cloudy, misty, overcast weather. That's a little better. I can live with that. Alright, let's go back to real time. That's a better view, much prettier. Alright, and now I'm going to reposition some equipment just to make this a little easier to deal with. So the combine, still need to find a better place to park it, but for right now that'll do. This guy, I'm going to bring him back West Lawn to farm, just to bring him back closer. The guy here will go dump this off. That'll be a decent place to leave him. So, what should we do next? Well, a couple of items. I'm going to go park this guy and pick up the new seeder. And the first thing I want to do is square off field, what is it, 17? Field 14. And to do that, here's how I'm going to do it. I go to the far side of this field, make a straight line, planting grass. I should be able to use workers on it. Let's get this guy done. Alright, stop the driver, unload the course. That way this tractor is back where I need him in a few minutes. Alright, so to get this guy roughly straight, let me come back around and try to approach just as straight on as I possibly can. Hopefully this is going to end up straight on the field, or close enough that it doesn't matter. You can see I'm just planting a row of grass, and I'm stopping him. So I'm definitely making this field smaller. My goal is, yeah, I'll make it smaller, but also make it easier to deal with. That corner should not be enough to bother anything. So now, let's Same thing. And he's going to do that a couple times. And because we're basically having a triangular field here, I do have to manually do half the turns. Should just be one more manual turn. One more pass. We'll take care of that. Now, the next thing I need is to go by that other field, obviously. While I'm doing that, I'm going to, let's see, what do I need? I don't have very much barley, so let's plant barley. And pump up the cruise control, just to say, go as fast as you want to. Now, if I've done this correctly, when he gets back to this side, he should be able to turn and keep going. So let's watch and see if that happens. Actually, we'll come back and see if it happens. I'm going to go check on everything, continue moving equipment, because this tractor, I think he can do the plowing. If not, I will have to make another plan. Alright, let's see if he finishes this turn properly. He seems to be doing it. Alright, that works for me. Now let's walk up to field 15. Let's swim across the lake, because, that'll be fun. Or pond. Whatever, we'll swim across this thing. $27,300. So we are going to buy field 15. And now we have 4 fields. So the goal now is to take this new one and join it up with field 20. If you notice, the edges align nicely, right? If we just kind of plow through this area, we'll have one big field. To do that, we are going to need a plow. So the Verimaster 153, So 2-meter working width is $15,000. The Kiv Kivernulet, I have no idea. I'm sure I'm butchering that. 1.9 meter, $12,000. I don't know that it necessarily matters. $3,000 for 0.1 more meters. I don't know. I don't care. Let's see. 92 horsepower, 100 horsepower. What's the tractor set for, or currently say? If we want to use the crystal, 121. The major 80, only 75. So really it can do either. I think I'll go with the new one, the Kinderland, just because it's part of the gold pack. $10 a day, $10 a day. Yeah, not seeing a lot of difference, so we'll buy that one. All right, let's go pick it up. Just out of morbid curiosity, I'm going to see if the yard needs mowing again. No, it does not. Barley for the village grain elevator, 27 tons. I do not have 27 tons of barley, which is unfortunate. Corn for the mill, 22, no corn, and I don't have a front loader. Okay. It was worth checking. This is a cool bridge. I think I've mentioned, but I like this map. I like that it's very different from the other two. And here's our plow. Now the plow is one of the tools that I have the hardest time using. Because it's offset from, or it always seems to be a little offset from where you actually expect it to be. So first thing I need to do is, well, get it back to where I need it. Yeah, might as well just go back to the farm and go from there. One of the things we'll also have to do, the plow has an option, allow create fields. So we want to, basically if I toggle it, changes between if it will allow it to create new fields or limit to existing fields. So right now, if I remember correctly, it should be on the allow or create new fields mode, because pressing O will limit it to fields. It's a little, if I remember correctly, it's backwards from kind of the way you think it would be, or the way that it sort of seems. Okay, we still got a hired worker out. Seems like he would be done by now. Okay, he is done. just wasn't quite recognizing it yet. While we're playing with the plow, let's go ahead and get kind of the next set of things going. We'll hire that guy. Come get our fertilizer spreader. And I'm doing barley on that field as well. On the far field, I think I'm going to switch it to canola. Well, to a couple of reasons. One, need a larger field because canola doesn't yield very much, but it is occasionally useful to have because it... we're going to need to set the cruise control up. I'm pushing the 2 key to change the cruise control setting. And not quite close enough to the edge. How about now? That's better. Go all the way to that edge. This guy's going fine. Again, he's doing barley, but then I'm going to do canola out on the 15 and 20, I think. That way I don't have to come out and pick up straw, and probably don't have to send the tractor, the trailer out as much either. Actually, the straw wouldn't be too bad, but go with it. So let me show you the limit to fields. So, limit to fields. If I lower it, you can see I'm getting this newly plowed ground. And yes, I'm going to have to come back and recultivate this later. But I am not getting anything else, right? I'm losing... Basically, it's stopping. But if I turn on Allow Create Fields and lower it, I can bridge them, which is kind of cool. So what I'm going to do is get over here as close as I can to the edge. And try to make myself a nice... Too far. Still not quite enough. Make myself a nice edge over here, going between the fields. Then, I'm going to raise it up, and do it again. I'm not going to do this across the whole width. I'm going to do the edges, and then I'll do something else. That first edge is the one that I always like to get right, because I really prefer for the fields to have nice straight edges, if at all possible. Alright, that's a decent buffer zone. Or decent edge. So now let's head over here and do the same thing on this side. And if you're interested in this more fully, I have a tutorial video on joining fields from a while ago that covers this in detail. But it's basically the same process. And you could use this, and there's quite a bit of empty space at the edge of these fields. You could use this type of process to make all the fields just a little bit bigger if you so chose. Personally, I kind of prefer to leave them the shapes that they are, leave room on the edges for vehicles to turn around with a hired worker, all that fun. But to each his own, or her. Alright, I'm going to do one more pass this way, and then I'll set up Courseplay to do it for me. Okay, so let's open Courseplay, and I want to generate path. The field edge path I want to be... Actually, first I need to... start course recording. And what I'm going to do is go around the edge of this grassy area. And if I miss the corners somewhat, it'll be okay. Okay. Field edge path is currently loaded course. The working width I want to be, it was 2.9, right? Let's make it 2.5 just to make sure I get good overlap. I want to start in the northwest corner, and I want to go, or sorry, northeast corner, which is where I am now. Alright, yes, and I want to face, let's see, I want to go west. Alright, so what I'm going to do now is generate a path. What did I miss? I don't want a headland. There we go. Okay. Why didn't it generate? Oh, 1.9 meters working width. Okay. I don't know why it's not generating a course frame. I wonder if I have to save. Oh, I haven't stopped it. Yeah. Okay, currently valid course 1.9 northeast west, deactivate, generate. Okay, so you can see it created a whole back and forth course for me for this particular activity. It's going to run up and down with a 1.9 meter tool. And yeah, should take care of it. So let's watch. Let's see what happens. And you can obviously do this manually if you choose to. That is strictly up to you. First waypoint, drive course. And this is going to be slow. I'm just going to watch it for a bit and then go back to doing other things. So the reason I set that buffer was so that when the plow comes down, it would still be inside it and I wouldn't mess with my nice clean edge. And that's what I was saying. I may have missed the corner just a touch. What I'm going to do is go pick up the small cultivator and go over it, make sure it all looks nice and uniform, and then kind of go from there. So I'm gonna pause the recording, let this run for a bit because it's gonna take it a while. Let's watch this. Okay, this guy's done. This guy is almost done, and this guy's gonna be a while. So yeah, I'm gonna get this started up, and then pause the recording and come back because it's going to take a while. Get that going. Yeah, it's reasonably close. It's close enough. This is all done. So this guy can head down this way. And I'll leave him right here. And you can see this guy is just happily going along, doing his thing. Alright, I'll be back in a bit. Okay, so the course is finished. Took a few minutes, but no big deal. Let's just go check everybody else. Fertilizer is effectively done. We'll line him up behind the seeder. Now for the fun part. What we need to do is to make sure that this actually worked. And by that I mean, you know, it looks like everything's pretty good. I'm going to walk around it, but you know, there's an area right in here where there's clearly some grass still hanging out. Right in here, you know, I think it's there. I think that's just a texture error, but you know, you wanna make sure you didn't leave any spots where it's not actually plowed into field surfaces. So the first thing I'm going to do is get back in the tractor with the plow, and go over those areas again. And the next thing I'm going to do is run around it with the cultivator down and see if it will change to the cultivated texture. Okay, I don't see any more green there. That seems gone. Last one. Okay. So let's see what we can do. I'm going to get this guy, and if I remember correctly, if I do course play, if I do a hard work or a course play, it'll turn everything on. Whatever seed, whatever, you know, it'll plant, cultivate, the works. But if I remember correctly, when I'm manually controlling it, I can just lower it without turning it on. No, that's not working. Never mind, so I do have to actually turn the thing on to use it. Oh well, I was incorrect. Well, I guess we'll try it out. I suppose I could go get the little 3 meter, but I really feel like I got it. So let's, nothing like a test. Whoa! I always figured how quickly this thing can actually turn if you get it going. Specifically, some kind of jackknife, but whatever. Alright, I'm setting canola and hiring the worker. Looking pretty good so far. I mean, obviously we're still inside field 20 at this point, but the edge looks pretty good. I don't see any breaks in it, so that's nice. Obviously this side is already cultivated, just not seeded, but the seeder knows that it can just keep going. Oh, this edge is not straight. Well, that's going to be irritating. Hang on. Just went through this on the other side. I don't want to deal with this. I will just go ahead and take care of it. I just have something against triangular fields. And I've kind of developed the habit of stopping the hired worker after that first one and then starting him up on the second one. I made a mistake one time doing this. I wasn't recording it because that would have been funny. But I got him lined up. I hit H and I came back a little bit later and the entire field was grass except for the little corner because he had turned the wrong way. So, yeah, that was fun. Not really, no. That was not fun. I do have to remember that I was planting canola. It'd be kind of irritating to have like one row of canola and the whole rest of the field wheat or something. That would just be irritating. But I'm pretty sure it'll let you do that. You know, this would probably be a decent place to put some, you know, placeable objects that didn't need much help, like a bee house or something. Wouldn't want to put the greenhouses up here since they need manure and water. But, you know, for some of the power generating ones or something like that, wouldn't be too bad. Not quite enough. One more little bit there. There we go. Alright, back to canola. And let's see what it looks like now. That looks pretty good. I don't see any issues. Let me back away so the hired worker can keep going. No, I don't see any breaks in the texture that would indicate problems, so very cool. I'll move this guy back over to the, well, I think I'll keep him around just in case I need him up here as the cedar gets done. But I will go ahead and hire the fertilizer guy because he can be done, and moving on to something else. Yeah, not close enough to the edge. That should be about right. Yep, there we go. Now, one thing I have to be careful of here, with 2 hired workers on the field, one of them being fertilizer, the seeder will just stop if he runs into the fertilizer. Won't use any seed, won't do anything, he'll be fine. But the fertilizer will keep going and keep using fertilizer, as far as I know. So that's to be avoided. I was just thinking, with the relative widths of these things, I am not sure if I'll be able to pass or not. I may not be able to. We'll find out on this next pass, because if the tractor is inside the seeded area, he will be able to. If he's not, he's going to run into the cedar. Well, he would if I wasn't here to stop him. I think I might just stop this guy. move him away, and then come back. Once the fertilizer has gone past. Alright, it should be safe for him to come back up now. And there we are. Let's make sure this guy does not end up getting in the way. That is a good looking plow. I think I need to buy a pressure washer at some point too. I'm just checking to make sure there aren't any items that need to be taken care of. The corn, great demand for corn at the mill, obviously, but we don't have any corn. And let's see if there's any equipment sales that are worth looking at. Nope. Nope. Okay. Nothing to see here. Move along. That texture looks good. I don't see any breaks. One last pass for the fertilizer. Obviously the seeder's got a bit to go. And I think that's enough for the fertilizer. I'm not going to worry about catching that corner that got missed just a little bit. Kevernland? Yeah, I don't know. I'm probably butchering that. It's bugging me. I'm going to have to Google it and figure out how to spell it. Or how to pronounce it. I obviously know how to spell it. We're going to park this guy. And then see what we get into next. Okay, it did fill up before I detached it. Almost done. A few more passes. This guy, I'm sure I could sell the plow back, but I'm probably just going to keep it. Let's see if there are any missions that are potentially doable while that's running. Nope, just a pallet mission. I'm still not seeing any issues at all in the junction of the fields. So it looks like the joining worked pretty much as expected, which is cool. Usually if I do the course play method, it works out pretty well. The manual method that I showed in the tutorial video, pretty sure I did that before I learned how to use course play. That method had a lot of trouble with missing bits, and you'd cultivate it and then find some missing bits and plow it again and cultivate. It was, you know, iterative process. This method seems to work a little better if you've got course play. Still not seeing anything. Oh, oh, oh. There's one little bit right there. It's kind of irritating. Yes, I'm being a little bit of a perfectionist. Sorry. Oh, that's like right on the edge. And that's kind of the same thing. It's not 100% done. You can see what happened here. I managed to park this tractor such that it got in the way. So let's do this. Since I've got what looks like a reasonable line of errors, I will line up on them and roll right through them. And turn around. And do the same thing going through that one. Hopefully that'll take care of it. And then I'll show you how I'm going to fix that part of the field in a second. Obviously I'm going to let this one finish just to make sure there's nothing extra that's popping up. Those little incursions on the edge are probably okay. And really the areas I just fixed would probably be okay. If I hadn't been sitting here with the plow, I probably wouldn't have bothered coming back for it. Alright, now what we're going to do is head up here and just go the other way down those particular lines. Sorry, I'm muting occasionally because I've got a little cough. And I felt like that's probably not the best thing for the audio track. So this is going to change the texture, obviously going the other direction, but it'll be okay. And if this didn't get it, then I'm probably just going to leave it alone. And it didn't. Those little spots are still there, and I think I'm just going to leave it alone and let it be. Like I said, if I hadn't been sitting there with the plow, I probably wouldn't have come back for it. Being really, really small, and then I replowed them and they stayed, so I'm not going to worry about it. Let's go fill this guy up and get him parked. Let's get him refilled. I'm going to reset it to wheat, just because. This guy, the plow, I'm going to store over with the small cultivator and small seeder, just because. It's going to be kind of a rare use case for it anyway. And I think that's about got it. So we've got 15 field 15 bought, squared up, and joined to 20. Field 14 is squared up so that hired workers can use it. And so we've got 4 fields made into 3, and all of them planted, fertilized, and growing. And I think that's going to be it for the episode. We're over the hour, so not making them any shorter. But I hope you've enjoyed it, and see you next time.